You've built a portfolio in excess of $100 million. So there's a lot of apartment units and self-storage units today. You have a 25-person team. So today, what does Storyboard's setup and kind of investment criteria look like? Like, how are you unique, or what's your competitive advantage? Those sorts of things.
Sure. So our focus and our strategy was refined with every single deal over the last 11 years. Like every single time I'm noticing a pattern of something that's working, not working, and we're either adding that to the buy box, removing it, whatever the case is. So there are a few assets that we own that were more opportunistic and don't fit with the buy box. But generally speaking, we're buying in the St. Louis MSA, Southern Illinois, Central Missouri. We're looking for 80s or newer vintage, Class B, garden style, townhome style, 40 to 200 units. And we're only buying from either mom and pops or out-of-state owners with third-party management. We don't do any third-party management ourselves. And then we're also looking for deals where we think with conservative underwriting that we can stabilize and have an unlevered yield of about 200 basis points higher than the prevailing debt rates. So that allows us to go in, add value, and then recapitalize the debt and hopefully pull all or most of the cash out. Because we're buying with bank debt, typically when we're going in, the rates are higher. Like today, bank debt might be a 7.5, agency debt might be a 6, or in the low 6s. And the bank debt is probably going to have a 25-year amortization. Agency debt will probably be 30 years. You might get some IO. So, there's the ability for you to take on more debt later on and probably have the same mortgage payment. Yeah. So we're not putting on outrageous amounts of debt to where we feel at least that it's dangerous to put on the property, and also by that time you've shown a little bit of a history with the financials as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and especially if you're transitioning from a bank loan to the secondary market, whether it's agency, CMBS, life company, then you're transitioning to non-recourse debt, which also removes a portion of removes that contingent liability off your balance sheet. You can sleep a little bit better at night if there is a hiccup. Yeah. But it goes back to our January conversation of one of the reasons we're focused on St. Louis or areas like St. Louis is that cap rates are a bit wider than they are in the coastal markets or the top 5 or 10 gateway markets, which means that you can put more loan-to-value debt, higher loan-to-value debt, but still have a higher cash flow. So your DSCR, your debt service coverage ratio is higher than it otherwise would be, which to me, the cash flow is what matters. It's much less the loan-to-value. Loan-to-value can cycle up and down with cap rates, but cash flow, hopefully, will just continue to rise a little bit.
Agreed. And if I may add to that, a part of what we're doing is we're buying in zip codes. We call it pockets, but it could be a zip code. It could be a neighborhood. It could just be, the other side of the street. But we're buying in pockets that are either growing or stable, even if at a larger level, the county may not be growing.
Right.
For example, St. Clair County is not growing, but everywhere that we are in St. Clair County is either growing or stable. So we're buying in those pockets, and we're buying this Class B 80s or newer vintage asset. And as a result of not having the type of growth you might see in like a St. Charles County or going back to like Nashville, Austin, whatever, we don't have as much competition from new construction. And when we do, their basis is typically going to be much higher than ours. So we have some built-in protection or a built-in moat in terms of our occupancy and rents, because if we needed to, we probably have the ability to decrease rents. And we've really never had to do that, I don't think. But if we needed to, we could, and we can still be good with our debt cover and all of that.